Alright, hey everyone, Jen here. In this short training I'm going to teach you a few tips and tricks that I use to teach my clients on how to use LinkedIn like a pro. So what we're going to go through in this quick training is how you would be able to win premium B2B clients organically using LinkedIn. So just a few case studies before we dive in. One of my clients, Jeremy, he's a trick shot golfer and an MC, an event host. He targets corporates for corporate golf days, and using the methods that I teach you, he was able to go from kind of ad hoc messaging people and getting meetings here and there to being able to book 5 to 10 meetings every week with potential corporate golf day clients. Another coach that I worked with, he's an ex-banker and he burned out, and he actually turned his experience into a book about resilience and started to teach and coach on resilience amongst leaders, using the methods that I taught him about using LinkedIn to reach out to key decision makers. He was able to book training for over 200 bankers with a large financial institution, which is a contract worth about £25,000 for him. So the opportunity for LinkedIn is huge, and a lot of people are missing out here. It's a smaller platform than something like Facebook or Instagram with billions of users, but the key is the fact that these are decision makers. And cold outbound prospecting to these decision makers via LinkedIn is lean, it's direct, and it's a way of filling up your pipeline with B2B clients, particularly premium clients. You see, LinkedIn requires not a lot of time and really no money and zero ad spend. You don't have to post masses of content. You just go straight to the decision maker, build your network, start conversations. Now, the rules of LinkedIn are quite unique, so it's a bit different to other platforms. It's not quite the same as Facebook. People don't hang out on LinkedIn in the same way that they do with Facebook or Insta, scrolling and chatting and interacting. People tend to use LinkedIn and then get off. They check their messages and then they get off. They post something and then they get off. So the key with LinkedIn is to be clear and concise. Be direct, straight to the point. What you want to do is start building your network of your ideal client. So once you've identified your ideal client avatar, just start connecting with that person. Now, recently LinkedIn has added a policy that you can't add more than 100 people per week, so it'll stop you if you try and add more than that. But that just means it's all about quality rather than quantity. So be very specific about who you want to connect with and then add those people. On LinkedIn, we don't want to be spammy or salesy. Don't go straight for the pitch. Maybe you've received that on LinkedIn, someone just DMing you some kind of link or invite to a call or some kind of pitch. It doesn't work. It's not effective. It might work at scale, but with the way LinkedIn is limiting the amount of people that you can connect with and message, then you just want to scale that back and focus on networking and not using it as a selling platform. Use it as a conversation platform and then getting people off LinkedIn into a sales conversation on the phone. And the key to that is leading with value, which I'll talk about. So in my program, which is a 12-week coaching program, I go through 3 phases with people with optimizing their LinkedIn, engaging with their ideal client, and then converting them into paying clients on a consistent basis at a high ticket price. So for this quick training, I'm going to talk about the step 1, which is optimizing your target, your message, your LinkedIn profile, and your offer of value. So what does that mean? So to optimize your target, you want to really deeply discover the demographics and the psychographics, or the emotional world of your key decision maker. Then you want to use your messaging to speak to that person in terms of results and benefits. So once you understand their internal world and their emotions, then you want to speak to them in terms of what their goals, objectives are, and how you help them with their pain or their challenge. That's why results and benefits are so key. Your messaging wants to be able to speak in such terms of value that it's really hard to refuse you. Then you want to optimize your LinkedIn profile so that anybody who lands on your profile is able to quickly see who you are and what you do. And you also want to optimize the value you offer up front, and we can talk about that again. So first step, optimizing your ideal client. You want to understand who are they by their job title, how senior are they in the company, What industry do they work in, if that's important? What geography do they work in, if that's important? How big is the company? Not only headcount, but also revenue size. Have they won funding lately? Are they hiring? Are they growing? All of these are important metrics about your target person and the target company. You also want to think, are they a first degree connection, so someone you're already connected to, a second degree, or further beyond? And are there any keywords associated with the type of person you're trying to connect with related to, skills that they might have, software or tools they might use, or other elements that they might have on their profile? The next step you want to optimize and really hone in on is the psychographics. So what is their challenge, their frustration, their pain, their worry? On the flip side, what are their goals and their dreams and their desires? What do they want? And what does their company want? And what are the interests of them as a company stakeholder? And what specific result can you create for them that you are uniquely able to create? And is that result related to their urgent challenge and their deep desire and their goal? If it is, then you can connect with them and you can help them. So the next step, you want to optimize your offer message. So you want to come up with a statement similar to, I help my niche to achieve a result through a method or without a challenge or hurdle. Now, the key to an effective offer message is to give tangible impacts and outcomes that help them. So you don't want to, a poor message would be, I help sales team improve their sales performance. That's okay, it says what you do, but it's not got enough impact and outcome. So a better message would be, I help sales teams to double their revenue quota without giving discounts. Okay, you see there's a tangible outcome and there's the avoidance of a pain. Now, a power promise, which is a message that I help you create, is a deeply resonant message that speaks with powerful outcomes and impacts to your ideal client. So I help, this is an example of a power promise. I help sales team surpass their revenue quota and hit $100K to $10 million per year consistently. Okay, so every single one of you will have a powerful offer message. We just have to dig down deeply and find the offer message amongst everything that you do and all the potential impacts and outcomes that you create for your potential client. All right, the next step is optimizing your LinkedIn profile. So ultimately, within 5 seconds, somebody should be able to guess who you are and what you do with clarity. You want to optimize your banner image, you want to optimize your profile picture and your headline. So just to show you that, let's jump over to LinkedIn and we'll go over to my profile and I'll show you quickly. All right, so banner image, you want a nice clear banner image with a picture of you, potentially your logo. Some people put text here about the company that they work for and the results that they create. Profile picture, you want it nice and clear, you want your headshot clear, and if you can put a ring around it, it just helps your image pop out. If you can clear or blur out the background, that also helps your face be very clear. Your headline, this is underneath your name. You want to come up with that power promise. My power promise, I help coach consultants fill up their calendar with 10K to 100K B2B clients with regularity. So 5 seconds, can someone land on my profile and find out about me? I think they can find out that I help coaches and consultants fill up their calendar with 100K clients. Okay, scrolling down, it should all be consistent. Your about section, you want your power statement, you want a track record, you want to indicate who you work with and how your services work. You want to indicate how people can get in touch with you. Add featured articles, so things that you've created, your VSL, your free training, your lead magnet, maybe a brochure about how you work, any of your valuable content, testimonials, make them featured articles that people will click through and see. And then under your experience, make sure your top experience is related to your current role in the company that you are working for to sell on LinkedIn. So Jen Bishop Consulting is my business. It's my most recent experience. I put it at top here so that people can find it. Again, power promise, track record, and then links to some testimonials so people can hear how I work and the results that I've created. Then down the bottom, if you've got volunteer experience that's relevant, add it. Skills and endorsements and recommendations, and make sure that they are all lining up with pointing to you and to what you have to offer. So there's a really quick flyover of what a great optimized LinkedIn profile looks like. Okay, so in your about section, you want your power promise, you want a track record, you want who you help, you want to add your services, and if you have steps of your services and how people can get in touch with you. Don't miss out on featured posts, don't miss out on adding your experience, and don't miss out on adding your skills and recommendations. Okay, so optimizing your LinkedIn is critical for successful prospecting on LinkedIn. Okay, optimizing the value that you offer up front. Now, if you have a good VSL, that'll work wonders for you. Other types of things that you can offer out include eBooks, you can offer free training, a piece of your training, you can offer a webinar, some kind of pre-recorded content, you can offer a quiz, you can offer a free strategy session or free coaching session. By offering value up front, you're able to lower the barrier to a cold conversation to you. You're able to warm up that ideal client to a warm prospect. So here's an example, just a screenshot of an ebook that was created by a client of mine. Very simple, 5 ways to increase productivity and resilience in your people. He just wrote the book from his experience, and he was able to book training with 200 bankers worth about £25,000. So with that one ebook, he was able to win a 5-figure contract because it spoke to the challenges of the leaders that he was reaching out to. It was about resilience and leadership, and he was able to achieve that in just a few months. Jeremy Dale, the Trick Shot golfer and Corporate Golf Day host, he was able to put together a guide and offer that to corporates, a guide on how to run a great corporate golf day. So with that, he was getting the guide into the right hands. He was able to offer something free, but essentially what that did was open up opportunities for conversations with his ideal client that were now warm conversations open to talking about business. All right, so there's other cool things you can do with LinkedIn. You can use groups, events, and posts. You can search by keywords, filter by groups, events, and posts, and then find your ideal client in there. Find people who are commenting and liking on posts and add them, and then obviously you can private message them and reach out with an offer of value. You can also use LinkedIn Sales Navigator. It's a paid version of LinkedIn, but there are superior search filters. You can send in-mails directly to people without needing to add them, which means the 100 person per month limit, it doesn't limit you from 100 person a week doesn't limit you from connecting. You're able to send in-mails. You're also able to find out a lot more rich data about companies, teams, their email addresses, things like that. And as I mentioned before, like data about the company, is it receive seed funding? Is it growing? Is it hiring? Is it shrinking? Any of those things. Has there been a change of leadership? Is there an event like a merger or something going on? So there's a lot of data in LinkedIn Sales Navigator that you can use to improve your conversation and your outreach. So just a few FAQs before we finish this training. Do I have to give away something for free? My recommendation is craft something that answers somebody's problem, solves a question, engages them around their desire, make it valuable enough for them to want it, but not so valuable that you're replacing your paid services. Obviously, an ebook or even an hour of free coaching cannot possibly replace paying you to guide them to a full solution. So the purpose of doing something for free means that you can lower the barrier from a cold conversation that they might be reserved about a potential sales pitch. You have the chance then to warm up the relationship by offering value, and then you're in a position to move that to a conversation that's a sales conversation. Other people ask, do people just see through a free offer as a way to get to a sales pitch? Potentially. However, if your free offer is designed in such a way as it's too hard to refuse, if you're offering them value to a tangible pain or a really tangible desire, they're going to take it. even if they think it's going to lead to a sales conversation, because they'll be curious to know how you can help them, and then they'll be best positioned to work with you in future. How many hours a day should I put into LinkedIn? I recommend to people just put an hour a day into your prospecting, full stop, whether that's on LinkedIn or other platforms. If LinkedIn is your primary platform, then use an hour a day on LinkedIn. Obviously, if you're across a few platforms, then you just spread that as you will. Can I find individuals B2C as well as companies B2B on LinkedIn? Absolutely. People are listed by their role, their title, the size of their company. So you can find entrepreneurs, self-employed people. You can find coach consultants, which is my target. So I'm talking to individuals all the time, as well as small companies. And do I need to pay for Sales Navigator? No, you don't. There's a lot of features and functionality entirely for free on LinkedIn. You don't need to pay for Sales Navigator. You don't need to pay for advertising. Just use LinkedIn well, add people, optimize your profile, optimize your targeting, optimize your messaging, optimize the value that you provide, and you'll be able to use LinkedIn successfully to leverage premium clients B2B all the time. All right, so that's the end of this short training. Look me up on LinkedIn and add me. Please email me, jen@jenbishopconsulting.com. Check me out on my website, jenbishopconsulting.com. And if you would like to book a free 30-minute strategy session with me, then jump onto Calendly here, or just DM me in any messages on LinkedIn or Facebook, and I'll be happy to book a call with you, and we could talk through a strategy that could help you out. All right, so that brings us to the end of the training. Thanks for watching so far, and I wish you all the best getting B2B high-ticket clients.